Ugh, I like that red color. So what's up guys, Bloodman Bobby here, and I think many of you guys watching this video have at least heard of the smartphone brand Blackberry, which back in the day, like in the mid 2000s, even late 2000s, we all know Blackberry was the company that made these smartphones. Like, I called them the smartphone before the smartphone we know of today. You know, Blackberry made these phones with these kind of small screens, and they had physical keyboards on them, which I'm sure, I mean, given that there's even a term for people who like using these keyboards, crackberry, I'm, pretty sure there were people who really liked those keyboards. I'm not really sure if I could have gotten into them, because back when Blackberry was popular, I was still, what I consider a little kid. You know, those kind of phones, when people would look at them, they were very associated with things like, business and getting things done and using these really tiny keyboards. And I think I've tried using them before. Like when you go to Costco, they have the phones on sale, but they have those fake screens on them. You know what I'm saying? I was able to like maneuver my fingers and type. I don't really know if I can live with that kind of a keyboard, but that was what basically BlackBerry was known for. And the funny thing was, even when the iPhone came out, BlackBerry was always that one competitor Apple could never seem to crush. Like when I would watch Steve Jobs' presentations and he would say, here's the US smartphone market share, and BlackBerry was always the one rival the iPhone was always second place to. And of course nowadays BlackBerry, unfortunately, as much as I prefer Apple, I really am saddened to see when any company starts to, slumber and lose its grace. BlackBerry is nowadays known much more for being sort of a niche smartphone brand. They're now under the Chinese company TCL, and they're known for making more business-oriented phones. They went from having their own BlackBerry OS, and now they have BlackBerry phones with Android software on them. Still, I still wanted to talk about this phone here, and this one in particular that was shown off at IFA caught my attention, and that is the BlackBerry Key 2 LE. LE, I'm assuming, means the light edition, because this is basically a budget version of BlackBerry's Key 2, which I think is the successor to the BlackBerry Key 1, most infamously known for having its screen pop off in this Jerry Rig Everything video.
And unfortunately, this BlackBerry Key 1 is not a survivor.
But hopefully the Key 2 LE screen, or even the standard Key 2 screen, isn't that fragile, or it's not as easy to have the screen popped off. Because I know they fixed it in later versions of the Key 1 where the screen doesn't pop out as easily, but it's still a really weird flaw that it originally had. So what's new on this BlackBerry Key 2 LE? Well, this phone has a 4.5-inch LCD screen with a resolution of 1620 by 1080. It's got a Snapdragon 636 processor, rear 13 and 5 megapixel cameras, so it is a dual lens camera system, much like on the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 and the iPhone 10. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, 32 or 64 gigabytes of storage, USB charging, thank you, and a headphone jack, thank you very much. And the phone will be coming to the US in September. The 32 gigabyte version will cost you $400, and the 64 gigabyte version will be $450. And it'll come in 3 colors: slate, atomic, which is that red color I really like, and champagne. And another thing to note is that unfortunately it's going to be running Android Oreo, so not the latest version of Android software. I always find it kind of weird how the first phones that usually get the latest Android software tend to be flagship phones, and even then, not all flagships get the absolute latest version of the Android operating system. I don't think the Galaxy Note 9 actually comes with Android Pie, but it's just really weird to me since, in my opinion, every phone should always come with the latest version of whatever operating system is running on it. I mean, nowadays, since Android Pie is still relatively new, I'm pretty sure all Android apps will run on this phone. Like, I'm pretty sure, unless they're like really, really old apps that nobody really uses anymore, but you should be fine. So, as a mid-range phone, I actually think it's a pretty decent choice. Its specs may not be the best. I mean, Snapdragon 636, we're not talking about a Snapdragon 845 processor here. But I think this is a phone meant for people who just need a phone to do things like watch YouTube videos or go on Facebook and Twitter and see phones like the Samsung Galaxy S9 or the Google Pixel 2 or the iPhone 8 or 10 as very excessive. They just need a phone that has competent enough specs just to get through the day. In terms of that, I think it's going to be cool, and especially if you guys miss having a smartphone with a physical keyboard built in. And I know earlier I kind of bagged on Blackberry for making phones that have really tiny keyboards. Like I said, I think I can just get through typing on that keyboard, but it is kind of cramped. But I'm pretty sure there's definitely a crowd out there that still would rather have something tangible to type on, like on this Samsung Epic 4G that I've been testing out for a while. Me personally, I kind of find that whenever I'm doing some typing, it's nice to have the key travel on this phone is actually pretty good, but I do notice that I type kind of slow on this keyboard compared to when I'm typing on a touchscreen. And I think typing on a touchscreen is on a smartphone is fast enough for me because you've got plenty of space to play with, whether you type in horizontally or vertically. And I don't know what it is, just the fact that, you're able to just type away. Whereas I think on a keyboard like this, because you have to stretch your finger a bit more, it can get kind of slow when I'm typing on these kind of keyboards. But, I don't represent everybody that types on a physical keyboard. I'm pretty sure. Only because I know when the iPhone was first coming out and there were all these Android smartphones with keyboards, you guys remember, like the Motorola Droid, as well as the Samsung Epic 4G. There was definitely a crowd out there that preferred having a physical keyboard, something tangible to type on, as opposed to typing on a screen. Like, I definitely know there were people like that. I'm not really sure if there's people like that anymore. I'm sure there is, or maybe people just got used to typing on the screen, but I'm sure having this keyboard will be a really nice feature. And specs wise, and in terms of the screen that the Blackberry Key 2 LE has, it's pretty competent. Like, I definitely know there's a crowd out there that says, I don't need the absolute best specs on a phone, I just need enough to get through my day. And all these phones like the iPhones and the Samsungs are very excessive. Like, I definitely know there's a crowd out there. I think that's also why a lot of phones from China, from companies like Xiaomi and OnePlus, get a lot of traction. But I definitely think that this phone is definitely going to appease. If you're not getting this phone for the keyboard, it's still a pretty well-spec phone, especially if you're just buying a phone just to do social media messaging and making calls or watching the occasional YouTube video here and there. And if you're okay with typing, then I'm sure it's going to be a good fit for you. So, all right, guys, please let me know your thoughts down below. You could even tell me your guys' stories. Do you have stories of you guys using Blackberries, or you miss using them, or even just miss smartphones with physical keyboards in general? Like, please tell me all that down below in the comments. You can also tell me ideas for any videos I should make, even videos relating to announcements made at IFA 2018. You can leave those in the comments, or you can email me. My email address is in the description of this video. So thank you for watching. Hey guys, be sure to like this Blood Moon Bobby video if you enjoyed it. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. Be sure to ring the notification bell to be notified about my latest upload. Follow me on my social media pages at Blood Moon Bobby to find out about what I'll be covering next and for more of my opinions. Thanks for watching.